The hardest part of moving on isn't leaving, it's what happens after you leave. Because leaving can be one decision. You can end the relationship, stop talking, delete the messages, and tell yourself it's over, but then comes the silence. Suddenly, there is all this space in your life where someone used to be, and that's when it gets hard. You start remembering random things you haven't thought about in months. A conversation, a place, a stupid inside joke, and sometimes you don't even miss the person, you miss the memories. You miss who you were when you were with them. You miss how life felt, and I think that's one of the hardest things about moving on. Sometimes you're not wishing that person would come back, you're wishing you could go back. And those are completely different things. For me, one of the worst parts is music. What do I mean by that? When someone becomes such a big part of your life, suddenly every song can remind you of them. It doesn't even have to be a song you heard together. You can hear something completely new, and somehow your brain still finds a way to connect it back to them. And it's not just music, it's places, like little things, random memories you didn't even realize you still had, and for a while it feels like they're everywhere. And that's when moving on becomes exhausting because you can know the relationship wasn't right for you, you can know ending it was the right decision, and still you can miss it. Not because you actually want the relationship back, but because you want one more day where everything felt the way it used to. And maybe that's the point where moving on actually starts. Not when you stop thinking about them, not when every song stops reminding you of them, but when you can remember something good without feeling like you need to have it again. You can admit that maybe it was one of the best times of your life. You can appreciate how happy you were, the memories you made, and the person you were back then. You don't have to pretend it wasn't special just because it's over, but you also can't spend your life trying to recreate it. Because sometimes we don't actually want the person back, we want the feeling back. We want the version of our life back. And if you keep chasing that feeling, you'll never give yourself the chance to experience something new. And if you're still in the stage where everything reminds you of them, that's okay too. Maybe you still hear a song and immediately think of them. Maybe you still have places you can go without remembering everything about them. Maybe you still catch yourself wanting to go back. You don't need to force yourself to be over it. For some people, it takes days. For some, months. And for some people, it takes years. There's no correct timeline. Being stuck for longer doesn't mean you loved more. It doesn't mean you're weak. If you're still in the middle of it, you're still moving forward, even if you can't feel it yet. And eventually, you might hear that song again and realize it doesn't hurt the same way. You might go somewhere you used to go together and make a completely new memory there that has nothing to do with them. And slowly, without even noticing, your life starts becoming yours again. And there's one more thing I think we forget when we are still hurting. You might genuinely believe you'll never feel that way about someone again. You might think, that was it. I'll never find someone who understands me like that. And when you're still in that place, it can feel completely true. But you don't know that. You haven't met everyone you're going to meet. You haven't experienced every kind of love you're capable of experiencing. The next person doesn't have to replace the person you lost. They can be completely different. The memories you had don't mean you have already experienced the best you'll ever have, even if it feels like it. There are still people you haven't met, places you haven't been to, memories you haven't made, so if you're still somewhere in the middle of moving on, don't give up on the future just because you are still attached to the past. You don't have to forget what you had. You just have to leave some room for what you haven't had yet.